My great-grandmother, Leah Skadron, was born in Busanova, Russia. Her family were farmers and grocers and had a nice home and store. She didn't go to school, but had teachers come to the house to teach them Russian, German, and Yiddish until she was 12 when she went to work in the store. She married Jacob Shersansky from Odessa, and they opened a store together in her father-in-law's house. My grandmother Miriam, Minnie, was born in August 1905, and just 2 months after she was born, the 1905 Russian Revolution escalated and came to Odessa as reactionary forces attacked intellectuals, revolutionaries, and Jews. The Russians broke into their store and robbed what they could and destroyed everything else. They were terrified to leave, but my great-grandmother decided to make her way back to Busanova, about 60 miles away. She and her Russian clerk loaded up their manure wagon and began the perilous journey. Because she could speak Russian well, Leah was able to convince the Russians that they were travelers on their way home, and they were allowed to pass. Once they made it to her father's, Jacob joined them, and they decided to try to hide among the Germans who lived nearby who had been friendly to them. On this journey, they were set upon by the Russians, where they broke Leah's nose and injured my grandmother, but were rescued by a German family. They had lost almost everything, so by early 1907, Leah's father decided they would go to America. They sold what was left of the business in Busanova and made their way to Ellis Island and then out to Animus, North Dakota, where her uncle had settled in a Russian-German settlement. They homesteaded there, a hard life, but they were able to survive. Leah, determined to have her children attend school, convinced Jacob to move to town. So around 1919, they moved to Williston, North Dakota, and opened up a grocery and feed store that my great-grandmother successfully ran after her husband was murdered by muggers in 1931 until close to the end of her life in 1966.